program has taken reference and has benchmarked with other programs or similar programs within the same country nationally, it will increase the confidence in that program. Also, the national qualifications framework is good for national and international benchmarking. You can see similar programs nationally in which universities, and also if you refer to any other international qualification framework in any other country, you may take reference to any similar program that you benchmark your program with according to courses, number of hours, description, whatever of the course or the program. Then it makes the program meets the development and job market needs. So nationally, the program leads the NQF, I mean the qualifications framework, leads the programs to meet the development needs and also the job market needs. Also, it is important for balancing and equality of qualifications. So if all the programs have taken reference from NQF nationally, then all programs supposed to be in good equality. So any problems in the programs will be solved if they all refer to the same national qualification framework. And this is simply the importance of the framework. The 2020 framework, and of course you are familiar with the SAQF 10 levels. Now they are reduced to 8 levels in the 2020 framework. At the bottom of the pyramid, you can see the early childhood. Early childhood is not considered as a level because children this stage have not entered school to take a certificate, schooling certificate. And the first certificate starts at the primary school. When they finish primary school, as in Saudi Arabia, it equals to finishing grade 6 primary school. Then the intermediate school certificate, that will be first intermediate up to third intermediate from 7 to 9th year in the education, or first intermediate, second intermediate, third intermediate. By the end of third intermediate, they get the certificate. Then high secondary school, 10, 11th, and 12th year of education, of general education. That will be the high secondary school. Then level 4 is the associate diploma. And this associate diploma might be a diploma from technical college or some other program or some community college or whatever. There is also intermediate diploma, that is level 5. Level 5, maybe some intermediate diploma or in some exit point in any bachelor's degree or whatever. Then number 6, level number 6, this is the bachelor's degree. In SAQF, if you remember, last year and before, this is level 7. Now it's becoming level 6. Then the master's degree, that is level 7. And then the last degree, that is the doctorate degree, that is level 8. So these are the 8 levels in the new framework. So remember the levels. When we make or when we prepare the program specification, we will be asked in the first page to show the level. When we are asked to show the level, it means when we are describing, if it is the bachelor's degree, we just write level 6. Or if it is master's degree, we write level 7, and so on. Those who raise hands, please, if you have any questions, write them in the Q&A section. Inshallah, we will answer them later at the end of the session. What is important here is that every time when the national framework or qualifications framework is updated, the major change will be in the domains, the learning domains. As you see, the NQF in the first level, we have 5 domains in the first version. Then we have SAQF, we have 3 domains. Also, in this new, we have 3 domains, and similar to SAQF in number, but there is a slight difference, maybe in naming only or similar. So we will see directly the 3 new domains. Inshallah, later on, we are going to compare them with the other 2 NQF domains. The earlier 5, then the SAQF 3. Then we see what is the difference between those. For the time being, let us just describe the 3 domains in the current 2020 version. We have 3 domains. Knowledge and understanding is the first one. Skills, second. Values, third. How is it different from SAQF? Only in the values here. There, we have competencies. Let us see what is included in the knowledge here. What is included also includes understanding. Knowledge and understanding. And if you see the points here, the Arabic here, I attempt to translate as there is no English version of the of this NQF until now. I haven't seen anyone, but I have attempted to translate this. Knowledge includes deep knowledge and understanding, of course, of facts, concepts, principles, theories, procedures included in the discipline of work or a discipline of study, work, or profession. So, any deep knowledge of facts, theories, whatever in engineering, in archaeology, in whatever that is the discipline. Also can be related to profession, teaching, for example, to medicine profession or so, whatever, or to nursing, whatever. It also includes deep general knowledge, general and specific knowledge in the discipline, of course. And also diversity of knowledge from specialization, from one specialization to broad spectrum of specializations in the field, of course. Also, different types of knowledge, from tacit to specific, from procedural to structural knowledge. Whatever kind of knowledge is included within this domain. Also, complex knowledge, which links between knowledge type and its depth and diversity. So, all these points or fields or whatever learning outcome that relates to these general fields can be classified as knowledge. Then the second domain is skills. Skills now includes cognitive skills. And cognitive skills itself includes lots of things, like application of knowledge. If our graduates know something, some fact or some theory here, what can they do? What are they able to do? That is the application of knowledge. It also includes critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Also researching and creativity. All these are basically skills or cognitive skills. Second type of skills, psychomotor skills. And of course, it applies to some sciences or some medical field or engineering maybe, application of knowledge and using materials, equipment, and suitable objects, and using motor and dexterity skills, and in which there is a coordination between the mind and the hand. There is coordination between the mind and the hand or the body in using or performing this kind of skill. That will be skill or psychomotor skill. Also, communication and information technology, and also numeric skills. This includes oral and written communication, also numeric skills, like having basic statistic used for research or something like that, and also information technology, using the technology in continuing education. Values, this is a new domain now, but it does not differ too much from the competence there. Just consider the following things, the following 3 points. You can explain and you can see the values very clearly. When you see academic and professional values and ethics, anything or any outcome that is related to ethics in the job or professional value, that is a value. So what is, or any learning outcome that is related to ethics or professional values, that is a value. Another thing, self-learning on continual basis and independence, that is value. The ability to have continuing and independent learning ability in the future when the student is graduated. And number 3, the ability to work in team and to lead, like leadership, and to take to shoulder the responsibility. This is teamwork and responsibility. These 3 points, if you watch carefully, they make the values. A lot of all of them, I think, they are part of the earlier competencies. But there was in the competencies something like the communication, maybe something like that. Now, obviously, taken to skill. Yani that part of the ability to communicate, yani that will be a skill now. Yani earlier, a lot of people yani mix it with the competencies. Now that oral and written skills, communication skills, these are clearly skills now. The values are the personal values, professional values, professional ethics, the ability to learn or independently, have lifelong abilities to learn independently, also to work in a team, and also to shoulder responsibility. That will be a value. And hopefully, I made some clarification of the 3 domains. Inshallah, as we proceed, the picture will be also clear, inshallah. Let us see now, and I'm sorry for the other levels, as the majority of the programs are in the bachelor's degree. We usually concentrate on the bachelor's degree, but also we will be ready at any time. You can contact us in the Deanship of Academic Development if you want advice on other levels, like level 7 masters, or also the diplomas of community service and community college diplomas, or also exit points with some diplomas. You can consult us at any time in the Teaching and Learning Center in that, inshallah, every time, no problem. So let us see the knowledge domain in the bachelor's degree. What does it include? What sort of knowledge, if students graduate at the bachelor's degree? They have broad theoretical knowledge, including in-depth understanding in one or more disciplines related to their specialization or career. In-depth understanding, theories, or whatever related to the field or the specialization. And also deep knowledge and understanding, group of facts, concepts, materials, terminologies related to the specialization or the career. And also basic knowledge of research methodologies. And this in the earlier stages, the levels, and from 1 to 5, there is no knowledge of research methodology. Now, here, methodology. And it's not producing that research, but they have the research methodology. As you see the Arabic here, they have معرفة أساسية for منهجية البحث وطرق وأساليب الاستقصاء. It is only the basic knowledge of research methodologies in this bachelor's degree. The cognitive skills, skills includes cognitive skills like employing theoretical knowledge to deal with complex problems, problem solving, anticipating and solving problems in creative ways, use knowledge to enforce creativity and creative solutions in the field of specialization. Also planning to conduct research and investigate in the field. The psychomotor skills and practical skills, using equipment, utensils, materials in practical activities related to specialization or profession. This is psychomotor skill, as we said earlier. Then the communication and information technology, communicating via appropriate means to demonstrate knowledge and skill in the field. Analyzing and explaining numerical data, research, for example, they have basic statistics using applications and digital information technology in the field of study. These are all in the field of, or in the domain of skills. Then comes the values. I pointed earlier, there are 3 points. To act in accordance with ethics of the profession. Also, positively adapt with others, and ability to work with others, to face social challenges. Also, to be a good citizen. Self-deriving ability and continuous lifelong learning abilities. Ability to supervise team, to lead. Also, ability to lead and to shoulder the responsibility of a team, to develop the team objectives effectively, and to reinforce healthy psychological and social aspects of the team. So, these are the values. Any learning outcome that relates to these can be considered as value. Let us further explain. We can make alignment if you have the program specification of 2017, for example, and before 2011, 2015, 2017, up to 2017, of course. You have this earlier 5 domains: knowledge, cognitive skill, interpersonal and responsibility, communication, IT and numerical skills, psychomotor skills. Let us align them to the new NQF of 2020. The knowledge goes to knowledge. طبعا, of course, and there is more. If you go to Bloom's taxonomy, the knowledge and understanding also goes to knowledge. Cognitive skills like critical thinking, like this, go to skill. And the earlier, interpersonal and responsibility, go to the value, including the responsibility, the ethics, and this leadership, whatever the personal things, values, they go to the value. And the other 2, number 4 and 5, communication, IT technology, and numerical skills, psychomotor, both of them go to skills. So, all the knowledge go to the knowledge, And number 4, communication skills. And go to skills. I mean, this goes to values. The other 3 go to skills. 3 of them go to skills. Let us see the سقف. سقف also يعني takes interpersonal to values immediately, and the others may be to skill. Although there are some communication skills taken to the competencies earlier. But now, obviously, since they are skills, they go to skills directly. Let us go to the program specification now, and let us lead our discussion with it. Let us go to the template of the program. I want to share it now. Okay, this is the program specification. I am going just to proceed quickly. If you remember the program name, for example, Bachelor of Arts in English Language, for example. Qualification level, if you remember, since it is bachelor's, it will be level 7, for example, level 6, sorry. Then the department, English department, for example, college, arts and humanities, institution, Jazan University. I want to take one there. Let us just stop here. Main location, in Jazan, for example, male and female. Then the branches, if you have branches, same branch, same program offered in some other college. For example, in the female or the university campus in عربية, for example, or the university campus in Farasan, whatever. List all the branches that offer, or the university college in Darb, for example. List all the colleges or that offer this program here. Reasons for establishing the program. These include some economical, social, cultural, technological reasons, national needs and developments, whatever. List them in a list, 1, 2, 3, whatever these reasons are. Now, number 4, if you see here, only the credit hours are left here. For example, 124 or whatever, according to the curriculum plan. It is different from, unlike SAQF description or specification. There we have the learning hours now. The learning hours now deleted here. The learning hour system is the European Community System. The European Community basically depend on the learning hours, and largely SAQF was aligned with the European system. But now again, the NQF returns back to the American credit hour system. So you just write the number of credit hours in the program, and there is no mention of the learning hours again here. So then professional occupations and jobs that are expected and that are listed within the job market that the graduates of this program will be taking, will probably will be hired in those professions or jobs. Now, major tracks. Remember, the program name is one. The program is one, but if it has any tracks, for example, if we have the major program is bachelor's in journalism, for example. Then under journalism, we have tracks like television, and we have radio, and we have like digital media or something like that, tracks. Then you write those tracks and pathways within the same specification. You just write, you mention the tracks here. If you have exit point in the program, after how many hours? If you have in some degree, after like, for example, 4 semesters, the students can stop there and get a diploma. For example, in halfway, like 60 credit hours. What do you call this? Maybe it's called diploma. It's halfway. They are awarded a degree halfway in the program. But be careful, as when there are some other implications down here. I will remind you. Program mission, remember, now as the university is having the 2020-25 strategic plan approved by the university council, and it has been circulated to the colleges. The university has a new mission. I hope in this program specification you update your mission according to the university 2020 mission. And then you see the program goals also. You update them, the educational goals. And here, write description or the link between your program mission, the college mission, and JU mission. What are the similarities? In what aspects or what directions the missions are equal? Here, you need to either make it in a table and you make some remarks to show the similarities, or otherwise write description of the, like some paragraphs of description in the directions in which your mission can be aligned to the program and to the goals and missions of the institution and the college. The graduate attributes, also your program already has graduate attributes aligned with university attributes. You can just list your attributes here. Refer to the university graduate attributes. Now we come to the program learning outcomes. And for both the program learning outcomes in the 3 domains, knowledge, skills, values, in both the program and the course, I would leave my colleague, Dr. Ahmed Bagabir from Engineering College. Inshallah, he'll give you a brief description of both course, for both course and program. Then I will continue the rest of the specification. Please come in, Dr. Bagabir.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Dr. Taha. But actually, it is a big mistake to talk after you because your English is even better than mine.
No, never mind. Just you are very expert in the field, yani. So please, yani, go ahead.
Okay. I hope I can present useful and applicable information, as we engineer always provide the practical solution to many problems. First, we start with agenda. and we're going to have motivation and objective, and then course specification, first version, and second version 2018, and the third version, which is the current version. Then we're going to conclude. Maybe I will be long 10 minutes more due to increase of 2 slides, sorry. We are motivated by new form, as you know, of NCAAA. Our objective to apply the philosophy of the NCAAA 2020. Actually, I'm going to concern about course learning outcomes, the 3 domains, and I will speak in 2 slides about program learning outcomes. Just bear in mind that accreditation is not filling a form overnight. We should understand and apply, evaluate, and modify each statement for better learning. So we have to understand everything. First, we start with ETEC. We know هي التقويم التعليم والتدريب. They have accreditations for institutional and program, and also قياس, which for preparing learning outcome and measuring learning outcomes. All these are under national qualification framework, which is also put by ETEC, and all under the umbrella of outcome-based education. Under the same umbrella, we found the giant accreditation boards, which is have been working for more than maybe 90 years, and currently is Washington Accord. So we are framed by outcome-based education. This is our main frame for all of accreditation boards, nationally and international. What is the principles of OBE? Since 1990, starting to use this formula for most of institutions and accreditation approach. There are 4 main principles for outcome-based education. Mainly, I will talk about timely remedial action with improvement action at the best possible time. In his 2018 books, the author said that there is a misunderstanding of his principle, a wrong implementation. Maybe for more information about OBED, you can download my integrated course design from my ResearchGate website. Next step, we're going to talk about mapping of course and program. I will talk on this for only 2 slides. First, we have to understand there is no specific way to evaluate program. No specific way from any board. Just be simple and accurate, and you reach. Do not put constraints. This is the first mapping, or could be adopted by NCAAA, or there is a different form, but this is the usual one. What is the mistake we do always here? This is a program learning outcomes, and here we have courses. First of all, you have to include all courses, university, college, and department, even chemistry, Islamic, physics, whatever you teach, you have to include it in the mapping of courses and program. I have 2 columns here. Here the skill should start from the lower to the upper class. So the first BLO2 is wrong, because the skills here start from introduce and then go to the master and then come back to that is a big mistake. So it have to be going from lower to higher skill. That is the right one. So we have vertical consistency. Also, horizontal consistency, the same thing. That is wrong. And this is the right. So the mapping should be consistent vertically and horizontally. This is the first point. And before you start your courses, you have to do this. Unfortunately, we always do the courses without having course program mapping. And sooner or later, you find that your course learning outcome is not on the specific level. Before here is M, so you put as M. Then you realize that no, that is a mistake. It should be B. So you have to reform your course learning outcomes. This is what about program and course. Now move to course specification. According to the various version of NCAAA forms 2009, we have 5 domains. I suppose that you are familiar with how to construct course learning outcomes and Bloom domain and levels. So we have 5. We are going to talk about each one separately. What's the knowledge? Knowledge is remember, understand, and so what is the knowledge? Knowledge is the lower part of cognitive domain. 3 domains: remember, understand, apply. If you have any learning outcome, start with these, with these levels, it should be knowledge. What's the cognitive skills? It is the upper or higher 3 levels of cognitive domains. Also, this is according to EBIT. So we're all working under the same OBE umbrella. There's some differences between interpersonal skill and responsibility from resources and NCAAA. For example, first we start with literature review. The literature defined interpersonal skill and responsibility as ethics and teamwork and problem solving. There's a misunderstanding of problem solving. We thought that problem solving gives him a problem in, for example, Newton, how to solve Newton problem. No, problem solving, a student should first define what is any problem, even social problem. What is a problem? Then generate solutions, not one solution. Then select the best solution and apply it and evaluate it. This is a problem solving. This is a problem solving principle. And in engineering college, we have a separate subject which teaches the student at lower level these principles. Also included communication. This according to literature. If you write on your Google interpersonal skill and responsibility, will give you communication. We have different type of communication, of course, verbal, listening, and writing, and non-verbal. Is NCAAA have the same definition? No. So but we have to follow NCAAA, including only ethics, team, and problem. This is always cause confusion between these 2 definitions. So we have to follow NCAAA definition for 3 of ethics, team, work, and problem solving. This is the first things. We have to use which level we're going to use, which domain. We're going to use effective domain for each of these. For each of these, even communication, we have to use effective domain. And we have, of course, different level of domains according to the contribution of the course to your program. Level 1 and 2 and 3 depend on IM or R. And also, this is you can find more information about this in integrated course design from my website. There's a 3 separate presentation. Now we come to the fourth one, is a communication information technology. So we get communication, we take communication from interpersonal skill and put it here. This is a communication, the 4 types of communications. And then information technology, IT, and numerics and statistics. So 3 of them from communication as the title, information technology, and numerical skills. This is a numerical skills here. What psychomotor skills? This is the 5th one from the domains of 2009. What's the psychomotor? Is using hands or eyes, physical behaviors. Just called, and I'll give you an example here. Also, it has 3 levels according to the student levels or course contribution to the program. This is why I emphasize in the first of presentation that the mapping of the courses to program is very important as a beginning, as before starting doing course learning outcomes. Because I have 2 days ago I have a negotiation or debate with a friend of mine of university, not in Jazan. He said we already specify our course learning objective and we don't know about mapping between program and courses. This is psychomotor skills examples. Trained to drive in a car and this and that, even engineering, everything using hands and eyes. That's called psychomotor. And you can find it in a lot of disciplines. Lot of disciplines you need to do psychomotor. So this is about 29. Now we come about 2018, the second version of NCAAA course specification. The 5 domains now have been shortened to only 3 domains. As Dr. Ahmed Taha said, knowledge, skill, competence. Now we have a new terminology, competence. What's the competence? Competence level at which performance is acceptable. For example, company A want a graduate who can carry a load. Company B said, no, that's not enough. You have to carry a spherical load. So company A accept this, company B accept this. So is it acceptable for A or B? So competence, it is more than skill, more than behavior or knowledge. It's higher than knowledge. Competence, there are 2 types of competence, specific, related to the course, or generic. For example here, conduct successfully tooth extraction. This is what the type is psychomotor. But what do you mean by successfully here? If you want to do it in 1 hour or 10 minutes, it depends. If it's 10 minutes, it is high competency. So psychomotor now, skills become a competence. If you need the student to do it in fast way and successful, so that is competence. That is competence. Now we compare the last 2 versions. Knowledge is knowledge. Skills, we have cognitive skill, communications as psychomotor. And the 3rd one is interpersonal, is a competence. Is that all competence? Is that all competence? No. we can add from skills some competence. If I want him to extract the tooth in quickly or in 5 minutes, or so that's competence. So competence is more than skill, and not only interpersonal skills. So we can add cognitive skills, communication skills, and psychomotor skills to competence. Now the new philosophy of NCAAA is different, not only for course specifications. There are a lot of things, as Dr. Ahmad has said, level of education. Here, this is a new form. Still, knowledge understanding is the same as my understanding. This is a previous two, as we discussed. And here is a new form. As it seems as there's no difference. No, there's a difference. What is the difference? Now values is become instead of competence. What does that mean? Competency will be developed after graduation. We need values. You have to concentrate on values. You have to concentrate on values. This is a new philosophy of NCAAA. Don't miss the communication. We have here communication, and here we have no communication according to the NCAAA definition. According to the NCAAA definition. So don't forget that we have no communication here. So the role play is on communication. You should teach your student how to address email, which is a basic of communication, which we face nowadays on e-learning or online learning. For example, this is an email received from a student of mine last semester. It is rubbish. This is in the final year. Everything in subject place. And he should use his student Jazan you, and that's okay. By the end of the day, we will have about 50 lab 2 files. So you don't know which for which. So this should be at least his ID. Any file should be under the name or under his ID. At least you have to sort the files. So we miss this information. You can put this as a grade. You can deduct some grades if he or you do not accept, but you have to take care about this. You have to emphasize about the basic principle of communication, which everything have been formed now according to the new era of teaching and learning, which is online teaching or e-education. So we have to take care about the first things about communication. I will conclude in 2 slides, only left 2 slides, heuristics. This would summarize everything in here and can be as heuristics. What should I put here? Knowledge and understanding, which is a lower cognitive domain. If you have any course learning outcome from this domain, you have to put it in learning and understanding, knowledge and understanding. Skills, higher cognitive domain. There's a mistake in domain word, sorry. Psychomotor domain, plus communication, IT, and numerics, statics. And what we're going to put in values, ethics, teamwork, and problem solving. And this should all use affective domain. Affective domain should go in the 3rd domain. In the 3rd domain. I think this will be a practical way how to fill in this form. And assume that you realize you have some mistakes, or you realize that there is a misalignment of a course learner objective. I have a lot of debates with the coordinators. and always they try to put some constraint for this. This should be go up here, skills. Now my question, I will leave it open, and I appreciate if you can share me your answer, but with evidence. With evidence before, because teaching and learning has the priority of assessment. We cannot wait for long. Oh, I will not answer. Sorry. I will leave it open. Considering the OPE principle, timely remedial action. And as we see that NCAA have changed in 2 years, have changed everything in 2 years, and no one except for that either apply for accreditation or not apply. You have to form everything from beginning. So based on this, are you going to make change next semester? After 4, after 8 terms? Please share your discussion with your coordinator and ask him for evidence, because we always try to put some constraint, and that is, I think, what he meant by the author of OBE. There's a misunderstanding of application of his principles. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you. Jazakumullah khair. And you can download the presentation from here. And I think I finish here. Dr. Ahmed Taha, you can take the initiative. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Dr. Bajaber. Let's go back to the program specification. I hope Dr. Bajaber from Engineering College has explained in depth what is related to program learning outcome. What I need to add here is that we do not advise you to change the learning outcomes all over from the beginning for the sake of the 2020 format. Changing program learning outcome is a major change and should go through the normal process of changing or making major change in the curriculum. But what we are doing is that you have existing 2017 or earlier 5 domain outcomes in program auto courses, and you have the 2018 self learning outcomes. Just align them according to our formula and put them in the new domains. If you feel that okay. I hope my sound is clear now. I don't know what happened here, but it seems okay. Then let us continue with the program specification. I hope everything is clear now. Well, as I'm saying, is that we are not advising that you change, because change or changing learning outcomes in the program level or the course level should go under the major change process. But now, just your existing ones, just align them according to the new, put them into the new form or the new template according to the new domain templates. If you have a problem with the verb or something like that, you can rewrite the verb, but the content, whether it is a value, it's a skill, or it is a knowledge, it will remain the same, because the curriculum plan has been based on the learning outcomes, maybe. Type. Furthermore, if you have 2 or more tracks, just attach or add a table here for each track. Attach or add another table for the second track or the third track, whatever, just below. I think also you are familiar with this curriculum structure. The course requirements in terms of hours and courses. Institution requirements. Number of courses, required courses, or elective courses. For example, we have 6. These 6 equal to, for example, 15 credit hours. And the percentage, let us talk about this later. College requirements. Maybe we have 12 or something like that. I'm just assuming. Or possibly, we have, for example, 8 required and 4 college elective courses. Here, for example, 20 hours. And here, 6 hours, just an example. Then the program requirements. Required, for example, 24 courses. I'm just giving example. Elective, maybe 8. Number of credit hours, maybe 90 here. And maybe 30 or something like that. Then the project. If you have a project, of course, it has credit hours. Or internship, also with credit hours. Then the total number of courses here, say for example, 36. I'm not very good at mathematics, maybe. If you add it up here, it should come to this number, total. And of course, this includes the elective or the exact elective that should be taken by the students. The students should take 8 hours or 8 courses. Number of hours, credit hours, number of courses and number of credit hours. For example, 128 credit hours. Now the percentages, 15 out of 128 percentage and 20 out of 128 وهكذا. This is the percentage. Let's say the curriculum structure, it goes like this. Then the plan. Level 1, the course code, course title, as Dr. Ahmed mentioned, it should include all the courses, university required or whatever, level 1, first year, or whatever you call it, when they join the program. Even the Arabic courses, whatever course they take, you include. Not only your core courses, program courses. It's not like that. Course title, is it required or elective? Remember, use exactly the terminology used here in this form. If it is required, write required. If it is elective, write elective. The prerequisite. This course, maybe level 1 does not have any prerequisites, but prerequisites usually appear in level number 2. When you come to this here, the prerequisite, for example, this course here, you write the course code, the prerequisite course code. Then the number of course credit hours, course by course. Type of requirement. Also use the same terminology here. If it is university required, write institution. If it is college, write college. Only the word college. Do not write science college or education college. If it is university, write just institution required. For example, if it is 102 Arab, that is Arabic editing, التحرير العربي مثلا, this is university required. You write here institution. If it is program, you write department. Just write the word department. If it is a core course, department in front of the course. So only 3 words appear here. Institution, college, department. Do not use any other terminology, please. Let us proceed. طبعا, look under the table. Include additional levels. If you are doing with engineering, for example, you have 10 levels, 5 years. If you have 6 years, go to level, for example, 12, or change the levels altogether into years. If it is medicine, year 1, year 2, year 3, and so on. Add a table for each track. If you have track for physical disability, you write a whole table from the beginning to end. Then you replicate another table. You write for the to learning difficulties, for example, صعوبات تعلم. You make another table, you paste and you change the courses that are specific to the other track. So if you have tracks, you need to copy this and you have to paste another table, make another table for the track. Course specification, when you finish, put them in your website, the department website. This is very important when you approve them. And the link, put the link here. So when the reader clicks here, it just leads to the course specification website where you put the courses, and you can see all the courses there. Put the link here, the hyperlink. The program learning outcomes mapping matrix. There are a few things I need to point out here. In your plan, if you see here, this is the curriculum plan, the study plan. You have courses from level 1 up to, for example, level 8. These courses, if you see them, they go in series. In level 1, we have one course. Say it is 101. In level 2 or level 3, there is another course for which this course is a prerequisite. Say it is 201. In level 3 or year number 3, there is another course that is 301, for example. And in year number 4, there is 401. This is a prerequisite for this. And this is a prerequisite for this. And this is a prerequisite for this. Now, when we come to the learning outcomes in the program, usually the series of courses that follow the requisite steps all together, we assume that they support one learning outcome, one PLO. 103, 101, 201, 301, 401. They all support the same PLO, for example, PLO 1, or possibly PLO 2. These 4 or 5 courses, they follow the series, the requisite series, and that they all support that learning outcome. How do they support? They support in different levels. The first course in level 1 or level 2 introduced the learning outcome, PLO number 1. So we can safely say here, the course here is 101, and it is aligned with PLO 1, that is K, knowledge 1 in the program. It supports this learning outcome. How? It introduces, you don't put tick here. It introduces, you put I here. It introduces this learning outcome, this 101 course. وخلاص. Look, it is introductory level, although the course in general, and be careful about this, this course in its details, it might include some knowledge, some skills, some values. But in general, the course is theoretical, and overall, the course is related to the knowledge, K1, basically. So you can just align, it introduces the K1, because I have some reservation I'm going to tell you at the end. Then I complete the first semester courses or first level courses. Then I come to 201, for example. 201 tackles the same learning outcome, and in which the students only practice this learning outcome in this course. Also in 301, Also, they practice with this course, with this learning outcome. And when they come finally in 401, we can say that our students master this learning outcome in this course, following the series. So, if the plan is built in the correct way, then we can put an M star here. If we collect data from assessment of this learning outcome, we can assess the learning outcome in the program level K1. And this is enough. And if you collect data from this course, which the student mastered, it means the student has successfully passed all the other requisites and the other courses. If he or she hasn't passed these courses, they cannot come to this course and master this learning outcome here. So it is sufficient. If you collect data only here, it will be enough to assess the whole learning outcome. You can collect data, for the direct assessment. You can collect data only from this course. That is another issue here. But in the alignment, be careful. Follow the series in the first place according to the plan. And then K2 has other courses that introduces it and practice and master. Maybe it is mastered in 2 courses, or maybe in 1 course, and practiced in 3 or 4 courses. Usually practicing happens in more than a course, but it is introduced also in 1 or 2 courses. Mastering can be in 1 course, final course. Then skills, also the skill number 1, skill number 2 or 3 is introduced here, practiced here, mastered finally here. In another course, values as well, introduced, practiced, and mastered in some other courses. Remember, a course cannot be, the learning outcome cannot be mastered in a course in the beginning, then it comes to practice, then it comes to introductory. This is wrong, as Dr. Bajabir mentioned earlier. The course learning, the program learning outcome is introduced first in some or few beginning courses, then practiced, then mastered, eventually at the end. So it is normal to see in the beginning I, then P, or M at the end. And at level 8, you can see only the M. But a learning outcome cannot be introduced in level 8. So that will be too late to introduce that learning outcome. The learning outcome is introduced usually earlier in the plan. That is the normal course of the alignment. What I want to say here again is that there are some common mistakes in the review of the. I have to erase by eraser here. Sorry, it takes time. But one of the mistakes, what I see here, course 101. I in all the learning outcomes. This cannot be an ordinary course. It cannot introduce all the learning outcomes like that. One course, basically in general, and it is generic form, it can only introduce one learning outcome, either in the knowledge or possibly skill or value. Remember, you see here in the in this matrix, generally you see the entirety of the course. And one of the mistakes also, you see another course here, for example, 301, and you see P, 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 P. It practices all the learning outcomes. This is very heavy course, and it cannot be very normal course. Yani. How much time do you, the whole semester you spend in one course or what? Not all the learning outcomes are practiced in this learning, in this course. So in general, and it is generic form, the course introduces maybe a couple, 1 or 2 outcomes, and another course practices the same learning outcome. Another course, masters, or few courses practice. And when you come to another learning outcome, it is introduced in which course, practiced in which course, mastered in which course. So you expect to see some empty or some blanks here and there, that this course appears only maybe once here, or possibly not here, maybe here or there. You can see instead in front of this course only one eye here and nothing else. All the other parts are blank. Remember, although you can see within the same course, you can still see some skills and some values and some knowledge, and you can align them with other learning outcomes in the program level. You can align the course, you can always align the course learning outcomes with the program learning outcomes. But not every course fully support all the program learning outcomes in all the levels. Look at the courses here in general. In general, if it supports one major knowledge outcome and it introduces it, then you just put introductory level course there. So the mapping matrix here includes some empty or some blank areas you can see. And it includes only the major courses that can be aligned here. But when you come to the courses, you can see alignment with different, because that is at the course detail level. Also, if you have tracks, also copy this mapping matrix for each track and make another copy for the other track for the courses and for the program learning outcomes. طيب, teaching and learning strategies. طبعا a lot of the programs we can see a lot of problems with them. And now when we come to the distance learning, these are clearly uncovered. A lot of programs, what I can see in the specifications, they write lecturing. They write like something like only something that is good for the knowledge, for example. But there are a lot of things. There are a lot of teaching and learning strategies and activities. And also there are some extra curricular activities. You can use a group of learning strategies and teaching strategies with the knowledge. You can list all the possible strategies that can use with the knowledge. And others that can be used with the skills, and others, a list that can be used with the values, like the group work, to teach, the responsibility, and the teamwork. You can use the group work teaching strategies, teaching and learning strategies, for example, or projects, for example, that can be good for, and also for some other skills. For the communication skills, you can use the presentations, for example. You can list a lot of skills that are good for skills, and some others like lecturing, and like a lot of things like demonstration. You can use them for knowledge, for example. Also the assessment methods. You see a lot of direct methods and indirect methods. You can list them all here. You can use, of course, if you haven't attended the first week of assessment, there are a lot of methods that are direct methods and a lot of indirect methods like surveys. Also, the same thing applies here. For knowledge, there are certain objective tests, like multiple choice, like true and false. All the objectives can be good for knowledge, for example. For skills, especially communication, you can say, for example, presentations also, and you can have a certain rubric for scoring the presentations. And you have an essay, for example. You can score the written skills in a rubric. The values, the teamwork, and the project, a lot of things you can use as assessment methods here. For the values, the ability to lead. You can have any teamwork or project. Also, you can assess it in the research. You can see, for example, the plagiarism, to what extent they abide by the values and the ethics. If you find students like 100% copy from another student, for example, that is against the value, and you can deduct score for that, for the plagiarism, for example. That is the value, and you can assess it, you can mark it, you can give mark for the according to your rubric also. So you use rubrics everywhere here, there, and use appropriate assessment methods for the appropriate domain of learning, the domain, and according to the domain. Most of the points and the discussions and the reviews of the NCAAA for the programs that currently have applied for accreditation, they have a lot of reservations about the teaching methods and the assessment methods. Use the suitable methods for the suitable domains. And you can see the literature. For Bloom's taxonomy, for tens of years now, for decades, you find what sort of for assessment is good for which understanding or knowledge, or go up the pyramid to other skills. For example, see which assessment methods. You can see the education literature full of the assessment methods that are good for which of the domains, whether cognitive domain, or that affective domain, or psychomotor domain, and according to the Benjamin Bloom type. Student admission and support. My colleagues, a lot of our program specifications, a lot of parts are left behind, are left blank. Whatever that is written here you need to be very specific in giving information about your program. Student admission requirements. Whether university, list them first, 1, 2, 3, then the program is specific. I want the TOEFL score kada. This program should meet the you can say the interview. They should pass this. They can do this. All the requirements by the program or by the university. List them here, all of them, and be very specific about the requirements, admission requirements. Then guidelines and orientation program for new students. When you have new students, what do you do for them? 1, 2, 3, whatever you do for the new students. Workshops in the first week. Do not only depend on the university welcoming orientations. These are not enough. There should be program-specific orientation for students. How to succeed in the program. Tell them, especially nowadays, we have students that they haven't seen us, only by distance learning. They have been accepted in the program. We need to have some orientation for them. All should be listed here. Then student counseling services. If you successfully pass this course or this program, what are the careers? How to succeed academically. Also psychological support. Also social support in the program. List all the services you give to your students here and your programs that you give to your students. Special support for special needs. Low achievers, do not leave them out. If they are low achievers, what are the advising programs you provide to your students? List them here. For disabled, what do you do? For the gifted and talented, what do you do? And I always advise that if you have, for example, very few low achievers and don't give much the time there, and if you have, like, for example, 20% low achievers, you have like 20% of the programs here. If you have 80% gifted and talented, you give 80% of the program of the time, you give it to the gifted students according to the number of students. If you have like majority of students are gifted, you give a lot of programs to help them to be better and to enhance their talents. Teaching staff. Remember, this is not the need for the new staff. For all the program necessary, for all the teaching staff necessary to run the program. For example, how many professors in general and specific specialty? Male and female, and the total. Associate professors, assistant, lecturers, teaching assistants, technicians, administrative support. You need to give their general specializations, specific specializations, special skills if they are needed. And it's someone who has this skill that is needed. Male, female, and total to run this program. Then professional development. طبعا as we may create it or discuss the orientation program for the new students, we also have orientation program for the new staff. Usually, I am joking with a lot of colleagues that we just give the chalk and we give the book to our and the schedule to our new staff, and we let them go to the classroom. Go and teach. This is your schedule, and this is the book, and this is the chalk. Go and teach. That will be very bad mistake. So describe all the process and the orientation of new and visiting and part-time teaching staff. Also, if you are visiting staff or you have part-time staff from another college, compulsory, you need to explain all the procedures you follow in your program to them. You give them orientation about the quality procedures, about the requirements of the program, about the teaching methods in the program, about assessment methods. Tell them that you require them to have training in quality. They are required to have to write a course specification, to supervise, to lead a course, to have a course report at the end. A lot of new teaching staff, they need orientation about all these things. And the university orientation is usually not enough. The program should have orientation for the faculty. Also, for the existing and the experienced faculty as well, there should be some continuous and professional development for the teaching staff. You have workshops, you have whatever, list them all here, all the workshops that are needed in teaching and learning. Also the learning outcome assessment, also professional development and teaching methodologies, whatever, you list all the workshops needed and required here. And all the development, the professional development programs that are required, you need to list them here. And of course, this is the department plan. Of course, every year you have to make executive plan for this. And by the end of the year, there is the program report. The people who are responsible for the program report can easily access reports about all the orientations given to the new staff. And they have a lot of workshops given in the professional development, and they have evidence and they have report for that. And they can list them in the annual program report easily if they are available. But if the program does not describe this and just leave it for the circumstances and for the I can say ijtihad, I don't know what is the equivalent of that, their own, I mean the individual effort of the faculty members, that I like to make like a workshop for the staff like this. And here the orientation for the teaching should be very specific. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 development programs every year should be done. And by the end of the year, the people who are preparing the program report, without any effort, can access the data of these programs. They can easily have it, They usually are part of it and they attend it and they already have the information. They don't need to go and ask different people in the program, what development programs we have done in the department this year. They don't know. Nobody knows. And eventually, you are going to exaggerate a number. You can say there are 3, and actually there are not 3. It should be according to a plan. Should follow a plan according to the specification. In my mind, I have one colleague in mind, who is responsible for the annual program report, Mr. Mahbub. I'm very thankful to him, and he is always very inquisitive, searching for information about different information to fill in the annual program report. But actually, that one should be done according to a plan, and it will be very easy to access if it is planned for earlier within the program specification. Let us move to this part, that is learning resources, the last one. Then we have the learning resources. Also, what are the required textbooks? What is the mechanism here? Be very careful. You write the mechanism of acquiring and providing textbooks, reference, and other resources. What is the mechanism to ask and to make the books available? Here, you are asked to provide the mechanism. The mechanism should be very clear here, and the procedures. The procedure you are following. Type. Facilities and equipment needed to run this program. Do you need a library? Laboratories. What laboratories? Medical facilities, classrooms, whatever for the program. Type. Healthy and safety within the program. How and what are these arrangements made? For example, if there are safety measures in the labs, what are the safety measures? In the classrooms, this is very important now, especially nowadays. Then the program management and regulations. First, the program management structure. Here, including the start from the program council, then you come to the head department, for example, then the units and the committees, the organization structure, just you can put it here. Stakeholders, whether students, you list them here. You list your stakeholders. What are the professional bodies and scientific societies, or the alumni, or the employers? List them here. Program regulations. Here, especially, you need a link for the online version of the admission, study and exams, requirement, appeals and complaints regulations. And you put them here. All the regulations, you put the list and you put the link. Study admission regulations, the link here. Study and exams regulations, the link. This regulation, the link, you put it very clear here and put the links. Program quality assurance. And of course, this should follow the general QMS of the program. You provide a link of the QMS manual of the program. Here, the QMS manual of the program, you put the link here. So, because it is a booklet, it is a book manual, so that when you click, you can access that manual. I think all the programs have the QMS manual now. It gives details about all the quality processes. Gives all information about the roles of the different committees, the procedures of the examinations, whatever, everything that the assessment qualities, or the quality, whatever improvement you need in the QMS. Then the monitoring procedure. Procedure means what do you need to monitor in this program? 1, 2, 3. What do you do? For example, you run alumni survey and you make improvements out of that, but all the procedures that you make in order to improve the quality of the program. Now, the quality of the courses taught by other departments. Even if it is an English program, if it is English language program, and there is 101 Arabic, you should have some procedures for monitoring the courses taught by other people. You need to get the course specification, and you need to check the alignment of the courses with your program learning outcomes. And you need to see the course reports, and you need to check the results, and you need to see the improvement plans, and you need to see the course reports and whatever improvement that is suggested for other semesters, and you need to follow up with all the courses taught by other departments. It is not a good practice that you just prepare the list of those courses and that is enough. Those are to be taught by another college and another department, and that is enough. No, what the procedures that you follow within your own program. Now, if there is male and female section, what are the quality procedures you need to use that they are to be treated equally? Courses, similar syllabus, similar distribution, similar teaching methods, similar assessment methods, whatever you use here, the blueprint here, you use there, whatever you do to maintain consistency between main campus and the branches, similar treatment for the main campus and Farasan campus, whatever. You need to list all the arrangements made here. You list them here, all. طبعا also you need to see the reports and you check the reports for consistency, and if there is any statistically significant difference in the achievement from the main center and the branches, you need to make improvement plan, and you need to investigate and see what are the problems, and you need to overcome those problems in the coming semesters or whatever. طبعا this appears in the annual program report or the course reports, of course. What are the arrangements to apply institutional regulations regarding the educational or research partnerships? And if there are some educational guidelines, for example, the curriculum plans you need to follow. There is research guideline you need to follow. What are these? If there are any arrangements, you can list them here in the institutional level, of course. Then the assessment plan. طبعا a lot of programs now, assessment plans, assessment of program learning outcome, nowadays is a must in all the programs. And just to let you know that there are some, or there is a template in the Teaching and Learning Center website at the university. You can check samples of the templates that have been used with the program learning outcomes, templates and mechanisms using in the result development process. You paste the whole table of the plan here. The plan includes the learning outcome, the assessment method, and the person responsible, and the timing, and whatever the target of the assessment, direct or indirect assessment. This is usually the plan. You need to put the plan for the whole list of program learning outcomes, PLOs. for example, 10 or 12 outcomes. Program evaluation matrix. طبعا, of course, to fill in this, you need to see this. This gives you a clue. Evaluation areas include leadership. So you may evaluate leadership here. Or effectiveness of teaching. Or effectiveness of assessment. Or you can evaluate learning resources. You can evaluate the partnerships or whatever. And evaluation sources, like who will evaluate? Maybe the students evaluate the learning resources, or they evaluate the teaching. And maybe the faculty members evaluate the leadership in the program and the college through survey, indirectly. And maybe graduates, or maybe the alumni, or program leaders make this, or administrative staff, or the employers even. Evaluation sources here. If direct, that will be students. If indirect, can be students or all the other stakeholders. Evaluation methods include surveys, interviews, visits, in addition to the direct also. Time can be beginning of the semester, first semester, week number 2 in second semester, last week in second semester. What is the time for each kind of evaluation? So you need to list all the evaluations, and you need to fill in this very clearly according to the key given below here. But of course, each category has an ETC here, etc. It means these are only examples. The program KPIs. Of course, now we have in the 2020 list, we have the 17 KPIs, yani the NCAAA. So you put all the 17 KPIs from KPI P1 حتى KPI P17, وبعدين continue if you have some other KPIs that are related to the program only, and only used for the purpose of this program, you can add them after 17. But the 17 are must. You list them first. Then you list your other program KPIs. Then the KPI here. Then the target. Also see the university target. A lot of programs, for example, in the evaluation survey, usually the university, for example, in 5 years, in 2025, the university might target 4.2. So your target can be for this, for example, this KPI, for example, 4.2. But this is usually taken, or mean the target. I don't want to talk about this too much, but the target is usually taken from the trend of measurements in the previous years. If my target, for example, in 2018 and 2019 and 2020 goes like in adding 1% and every year, so you take some target there. But usually program because the program specification it's not يعني renewed يعني every year, and sometimes it takes يعني a lot of time to be renewed. You can take the target here, but the annual reports will make يعني these targets يعني the annual targets better. يعني this is the target for the whole maybe strategic period, and strategic period, for example, up to 2020, for example. Then the measurement methods. How do you use يعني for example survey? You use the, for example, alumni survey for this KPI, the student management system for this KPI, whatever method used to measure this KPI, you mentioned the method here. طبعا the time also, because this is a plan. طبعا of course the year, the period to achieve the target. For example, 2025. By 2025 we need this target. طبعا we don't say that in 2020 we may need to reach this, but in 2020 you go for example, if you have 3.5, then 2021 you make a new target, then 2022, 23, then 24, 25. By 25 you need to achieve this target. Because the program specification is fixed. Unless there is another template, you don't change the program specification. When it is approved by the council, reference number and date, class, this is fixed, approved by program council. When you finish the program specification, we strongly advise after that, you go to course specification. Let me share it, and I give you just few minutes يعني here. Don't worry, I don't want to take much time because Dr. Bajaber already يعني has explained the learning outcome part. So just few points يعني I need to point out. Course title, of course, no course code, the program, the department, the college, the institution. These are just يعني you copy them from the others. Then this course, is it university requirement, or is it college requirement, or is it department requirement? Is it required or elective course? The level in which this course is, for example, level 3. Prerequisite, for example, course number 101, for example, English or whatever. Co-requisite, if this course should be taken along with another course. Then, is it traditional classroom course, or blended, or e-learning course, or distance education? A lot of questions we hear nowadays. Course specification is not Corona specific. You cannot make course specification for Corona. That is not true. A course specification is permanent, and Corona, I hope, is temporary condition. Maybe it goes along for one semester. This is a condition, and it will end permanently, maybe after one semester or after a few weeks. This course goes back to the classroom, and it is 100% traditional classroom. The course specification is meant to be a plan for the permanent use of the course, not for the temporary use of the course during the pandemic period. During the pandemic period, and a lot of people also say, we have in the regular classes, we can use some extracurricular activities with the Blackboard, and I have a lot of forums. I have to communicate with my students. They have to send the wajibat, the assignments through the the blackboard or whatever, still traditional, since they have 3 credit hours. And the 3 credit hours, you all take them in the class. 100%, it is 100%. If you take, for example, 2 hours in class and 1 hour online, that can be the blended 1 hour and 2 hours there, or 1 hour in e-learning or distance learning or whatever. But you can also safely, I have just been discussing with one of my colleagues recently, you can say it's 100% traditional, but there is some blended, lakin with 0 contact hours and 0%, and you can explain, for example, Blackboard or some extracurricular activities or whatever, but they are not credit bearing, Yani, you can say there is some blended content, but it is not credit bearing. Yani, you cannot, within the schedule, yani, you are planned to give, yani, you are given 2 hours in the rooms and 1 hour in distance learning. Unless that is the case, 100% it is traditional. Contact hours, for example, this is very clear. The lectures, the laboratory, tutorial, whatever. Course objectives, the general description of the course, just like the bulletin. A lot of like this course is generally about this and this and this. Here you maintain the general, you see the outcome that this course is covering. For example, this course enables the students to do that and that and that and that, addressing the main outcome that this course is aligned to in general. So just describe the course here, give the description of the course. Then the course objectives, list them 1, 2, 3. Then the learning outcome, as Doctor has listed there. Also, don't forget to align your course learning outcomes with the program learning outcomes. Which program learning outcome you can align? For example, K1. For example, this one goes with K2. This one goes with K3, whatever. And this one goes with V1 and so on. Skill goes with skill. Skill goes with skill, S1, S2. And no skill goes with whatever value or whatever. And skills goes with skill, values goes with values. List of topics here and contents. طبعا, and you all know this. طبعا, this is very important. بعدين في the assessment and the learning outcomes, whatever, and the weightage of the material. Then this is very important here for your knowledge and understanding, skills and values. What are the teaching strategies and the assessment strategies? First of all, check the program there, the program specification. Program specification. What are the teaching strategies that are advised to be used with the knowledge and with the skills and with the values? Maybe you choose what is suitable for your course here. And assessment methods as well. You can use objective tests, skills, values, whatever projects you use here. I'm sorry. Assessment task, for example, and the week due, for example, quiz, midterm, assignment, final, whatever, the week due and the percentage of marks, eventually you have 100%. This is, for example, written test, oral test, presentation, whatever group project you have, the tasks here there and the percentage and the week due also. This is a plan, of course. This is a plan you need to follow every semester. Course specification is your plan. Then counseling and support, advice. See this section in the program. And also, if students in this course need specific academic advice, you can list here. For the last 3 semesters, if this course, for example, pass percentage is 50%, and you have a lot of failures, you need to have special advice for students of this course. You can add special advice and special support and procedures and arrangements, consultations you follow for this course. Learning resources, textbooks, essential references, electronic references, materials. You can list, you can paste the links here. Other facilities required, accommodation, for example, you need classrooms, whatever, demonstration rooms, labs, technology, you need data show, you need a smart board, you need software, you need the blackboard, whatever. Other resources also specify here if you need anything that is required. Course quality, this is very important. Again, similar to the program. See, this part is very important. Evaluation area, effectiveness of teaching. Who will evaluate? And also the evaluation method. You have evaluation areas like effectiveness of teaching, assessment, effectiveness of assessment, effectiveness, the extent of achievement of the course learning outcomes, quality of the learning resources or whatever, etc. These are examples. Evaluators, maybe students, faculty, program leaders, peer reviewers, whatever. Assessment methods, direct or indirect. Maybe also if it is indirect, you say, for example, the course evaluation survey. You need to have that. Course specification should be approved by the program council, and then the reference of the council, and then the date. Maybe it will be signed or it will be stamped and officially approved. It will be published in the website. Of course, now we don't say we are going to build the course specification from the scratch, but we are going to update only the template. That is why maybe we are not going to add new textbooks in this template. If you are changing the learning outcomes to totally new learning outcomes or changing the textbook, you need to follow the procedure according to the plan change guidelines. If it is a minor change, there is a procedure. If it is a major change, there is a procedure. Now we are going only to update the template with the current learning outcomes, only classifying them. And maybe only if it is value, you put it in the value. Maybe you need to rephrase the verb, and that may not change the learning outcome. If the verb is not measurable, you can change it to another measurable, which is suitable for this value. But if you want to change the value totally to another value, you are changing the learning outcome, and you need to follow the procedure of changing course specification. And that is a long procedure. Now we are updating only. This is what I want to say. I am very thankful for you, and I am very sorry for this much time I have taken in both the course specification. Thank God, it is not a workshop. that you have like the input in it, but I'm going to take your questions now. Let me stop sharing here. And then
thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed. You are always, mashallah, tabarakallah, bright, and for your